What's up, guys? Welcome to the final episode of our first ever acquisitions week. And we told you on the final day we were going to give you something special. And we sat there and we thought to ourselves, okay, so I got to close sellers live 5 days straight. We brought on special guest Jerry Norton. We brought on special guest Aaron Bevins. We did the King Closer reacts to my first ever Closers Olympics appearance. What's missing? My partner in crime, Miss Cassandra DeHaas. So we said, all right, Cassie, we're going to make this a little bit more difficult on you, okay? What we asked Cassie to do is she had to come to the office on Saturday. She could pick whatever time she wanted. She chose Saturday afternoon to come up to the office and go into Speed to Lead, cherry pick which leads that she wanted from the marketplace, and see how long it would take her to close a deal. So here's what Miss Cassandra came up with. All right, here we are. This is our Speed to Lead account right here. You see today's date, 5:07 p.m., contract sent for $194. Before that, 6:15, 4:57 p.m., contact attempted. 6:15, 4:57 p.m., contact attempted. 6:12. She only bought 3 leads, people. 3 leads. She spent $427 and got herself a contract. And you're about to watch her close that deal that she recorded in just 2 seconds. But I have to say, the thing that is most impressive about this is not the fact that it only cost $427, not the fact that this is a one dial close and it was the only seller that she talked to, but it was the fact that Cassie doesn't do this all day, every day. In fact, she talks to sellers the least amount of anybody in the Titanium Investments organization. But the closer's formula works. If you follow the steps, if you're listening and you have great conversations with people, you are able to close deals no matter who you are, no matter how often you do it. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind while you're watching Cassie close this deal, okay? 1, she uncovers so much information about the property that does not exist in the databases that she's pulling up the information, okay? By following the steps and things that Cassie regularly preaches when she talks about comping and underwriting, okay? This impacts your ability to be a great closer. It's not just about your ability to be great at comping and underwriting, but your ability to close great deals, okay? By pulling the property up on Google Street View, she's able to see that there is a metal storage shed that's worth quite a bit, that there's additional acreage, and that there's additional square footage on the property, which significantly increased the after repair value of this property. It made it a great deal. I think she goes over the numbers there at the end, but it looks like this is going to be a killer deal for us on the wholesale side. It's going to be a great deal for our end buyers. Super proud of Cassie because, again, like I said, this is kind of an uncomfortable thing for her because she doesn't really talk to sellers every single day. In fact, weeks on end, sometimes months on end can go by where Cassie doesn't talk to any sellers on the acquisition side whatsoever. And for her to be able to come in and go into Speed to Lead and say, hey, I want to buy these 3 leads, make 1 contact and get a contract, that's amazing. So without further ado, enjoy watching Cassie close a wholesale deal on 1 dial.
Hello, is this Matthew?
It is.
Hi, Matthew. My name is Cassie, and I'm calling because I believe you spoke to somebody. Maybe you didn't talk to anybody yet. Looks like maybe you entered a property you're looking to sell on Elm Street.
Yes,
All right, I'm just giving you a call about that property. If you got a few minutes, just to get some information so I can run some numbers and stuff like that on it.
Sure.
Awesome. So I think you had put in here, that it does need some work, which lucky for me, I specialize in. So while I'm pulling this up, do you know how much you're looking to get for the house?
I would really like to get around, 50 would be really, really nice.
I gotcha. Well, I will do my best to get you that 50. All right, I'm just pulling a little bit more information up. Let me read through this really quick. So,
I had a guy call me, I guess it's been about a week ago. Maybe not, I don't know, so I can't remember what night and evening it was. And, sifting pictures and all this other baloney. And he said he'd do 50 since it's over contracts. We signed up. I've never heard another word from him. So.
Oh, no.
Dealers with that.
So that means you do have a contract on the property?
Well, I don't they never signed the contract. He said he'd get back with me on that following Monday. He never called, so I called him back. Said he had a family emergency, some baloney, and he'd get back with me Friday. I called him 3 times Friday, and he never answered his phone. So
Well,
I don't know.
That's a little strange. Normally when we send a contract, we're signing it first. Yeah.
There was no signatures on it until we signed it.
So what you'd probably want to do is, which if we get there, I can make sure I can help you go through that process. Just because before I dig into the numbers and the condition and what I'm going to have to do, I'll just give you a little info. So what we would do is we would lock the property up with a contract, and then we would open title. Obviously, we're gonna get people out there and do a good bit of writing up of estimates, just with things like that. I mean, I'm fairly decent at figuring out exactly what I've got to do, especially if you do send me pictures. So it sounds like they, it's just kind of a strange situation that they would kind of kick the can down the road like that, or not sign the contract to begin with,
Right.
So, but yeah.
And another place offered me 47, and they sent me a contract. I never signed it. I was hoping to get closer to 50, which 47 is pretty close. I just didn't really, I don't know. But anyway, so I told them back a couple days later. This other place got a hold of me.
Yeah.
The first time done seeing the picture, sent somebody out, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do believe that I waited too long for that one. So
I understand. It can be interesting and hard to make those decisions sometimes. I mean, just
right.
It's one of those things. I'm just filtering through the numbers here while we talk. Making sure I've got everything correct. That I've got. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 850 square feet.
Okay. So, yeah, if you're looking on wherever you look at is where everybody else finds this, I don't know. None of those numbers are correct.
Uh-huh.
Okay. It has never, ever been a 3-bedroom. It's only a 2-bedroom.
Okay.
And it is about 1,100 and some odd square feet. And it's on a little over 3/4 of an acre. I think it's 0.78 or something like that.
Yeah.
The actual ground is.
Gotcha. Is it at least a 1920 build? Well, we got something right on the tax records. Oh, that's so funny.
I never realized any of that until about a year and a half ago. I was trying to sell it quick. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I don't remember. Which I ended up, I kind of screwed around with the bank, and long story short, I just came up with the money and paid it off.
Yeah.
But anyway, right before I came up with that money, I was trying to sell it quick, and that's when I realized that, everything's saying it's 800 and some odd square feet and a 3-bedroom, and the ground it was on was smaller than it actually is.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so just a really quick, before I get too crazy into making sure I get these numbers and comps pulled out right, I want to verify just a couple of quick things. So the actual house sits back. There's a house right next to it at 683 that goes out to the frontage road.
Okay. That's not a house. That's still the same property.
Okay.
That's a garage.
Gotcha.
I built that garage about 15 years ago.
Okay.
The garage is larger than the house.
Yeah.
And honestly, depending, I'm going to say between the larger lot on the end of the road there, and the garage would be the selling point.
Yeah.
I do belong to, because, see, when I moved earlier this year, I was looking at building another building the same size as that one, and it's going to cost me $65,000 just for the building.
Yeah.
That's not including the concrete or the lights or anything else. That garage has double insulation, concrete floors, a liner kit, which is like white tint on the inside, LED lighting throughout the building, and it's somewhat temperature controlled. It's got a heater and an air conditioner in there.
Yeah.
So it's actually nicer than the house by far.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going over behind back to, because I'm just looking at it like from Google Maps, and I was like, I feel like you've got a good sized garage that you built out there, because it's one of the things I have to consider in my numbers, the covered parking and stuff whenever I turn around to list it. So it's like, yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, you've got a really good garage out there if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I was just kind of tooting around there around the frontage road on the Google Maps so I could take a peek at that. So yeah, you're right, that is a benefit. So let me just click through a couple other things here. I want to make sure, and because you do have a little bit more of a unique property, I want to try to make sure I get a good pricing on it.
Which I will tell you, it needs a roof.
Yeah.
It needs a roof horribly bad.
Yeah.
It was bad when I moved out earlier this year, and this spring we had a really, really bad hailstorm.
Yeah.
That finished it off. It definitely, most certainly needs a roof now.
Yeah.
But I had bought all the materials. I planned on putting the roof on and fixing my property up and putting it on the market. I just haven't had any time.
I hear you.
So all the materials are there to put a roof on the house.
I gotcha.
So that will go along with it, because I've got no use for it here. So I mean, I bought close to $10,000 worth of materials to put the roof on the house.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to be honest with you, Matthew. I feel like you're asking right at the right number from what I'm seeing. Like when I pull up comps and I consider, what I can do to get this fixed up, what I can do to get it on the market again, what that would cost me. It sounds like we're right in the right range.
All
right at that 50,000. So I mean, it sounds like you know your stuff. Let me just check.
I do know, you know, you could probably see it on Google on the street view. On the north side, the trimmer on the windows, the wood's kind of rotten. It needs pulled out, put new wood in there. On the south side, the siding needs replaced because they're in the hail. Didn't have insurance on it at that point in time, so it's just kind of the way it is.
Gotcha.
I mean, you know, it's got 15 years ago, I went and put everything new in the kitchen, everything new in the bathroom, all new electric, all new water lines from the meter all the way into the house, septic lines from everything in the house all the way out to the road. All the electric got updated. All the cabinets in the kitchen, they're all hardwood. They're not pressed. I mean, they are real wood.
Nice.
New countertops, flooring in the kitchen and the bathroom, all new fixtures in the bathroom, which, granted, that's been 15 years ago, and I've got, you know, 2-bedroom house. There's 5 kids, 2 adults live in there.
Little wear and tear, just a little.
Yeah, it's been used for 15 years. So
Sure.
it's not new anymore, but it's been updated. So.
Right, it's not from 1920.
Right. So this cleaning, you know, would go a long way, probably. You know?
Right. Well, I'm considering doing a thorough clean and some cosmetic updates if I, you know, where needed to be. You did a really good job of, you know, disclosing basically that I need to paint it on the inside, do the flooring, do the AC, do the roof. To me, I'm probably assuming I'm going to have to do a few other things a little bit here and there, like fence and just little things I might need to bring up to code to list on the market and get it qualified. But I really do think that unless anything comes up outside of my assumptions there and knowing my numbers, that we're right along that price point at 50,000. Like and I'll send you a contract where I sign it before you get it. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get that contract written up, and let me just, I know you put your email in here. Just give me 2 seconds.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So I have your email. I'll get that contract written up. And what I do want to talk to you about a little bit is just making sure that you don't have that other investors executed contract, like open at title or anything like that. So if just depending on your communication with them, because what could happen is if they have signed it and executed it and put it at title and it predates my contract, it might kind of screw up my process or my ability to close on this in a reasonable amount of time or whatnot, you know? So I just want to make sure that contractually you have notified them that. Did they have you sign it in person, or did they have you sign it in through a document signing service, like through your email?
It was a DocuSign thing through the email.
Okay, so if they ever signed it, you should have gotten an executed copy. So what I want you to do is also check on that for me and make sure that you don't have an.
They'd have returned an email with a signed copy, more or less.
Yeah, it should have. If they signed it.
I'm checking my emails now, and that was about a week ago. I think it was Monday we signed everything. And no, we do not have any. Yeah, June 11th is, well, yeah, June 12th is whenever we signed it. So.
Okay, so
We got email instruction.
I want to make sure that you notify him that, like, at least formally through email, that your signature on that contract is no longer valid, because you never got an executed copy from him, and that you're going to go with another buyer.
Okay.
Because I just want to make sure, and you know what, Matthew, the truth of the matter is I'm not going to, I'm not, look, I do this for a living all day, every day, been doing it for over a decade. I'm not holding your feet to the fire. If it's something comes back or gets, my goal is for you to have a good experience with this, just as much as, myself and my team and my crews and all that stuff. It's one of those things. I don't want you to be under contract and then it's screwing up the work that we do to get this closed with you. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So, okay. I'm writing up a contract as we speak. Assuming that you've had your eyes on a couple of them. I'm assuming that I don't have to walk you through it, but you can absolutely give a call back I'm at my office right now and I'll be leaving after I get off the phone with you and get this sent out. So I want to make sure that you have my cell phone as well in case you have any questions.
That'll work.
That makes the most sense. This is 18410. Because, honestly, my team is kind of bad about answering our business lines on Saturday, too. And I just really don't want to, I don't want you to call back on this business line and it not go directly to me. It roll over to somebody on the team. 41. Okay. I just text you from my cell phone right now. I will get this written up and over to you in literally probably 5 minutes or less. Contract.
Both of our names are on the deed, so probably so, yeah.
Okay, so do I need to get an email for Katie as well?
You can. It'd be Matt.
Okay. A-N-D between Matt and Katie?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, we don't really, she would have to really mostly mess with that once it's on title, but we might as well go ahead and get her signatures on the contract at the same time. All right. Well, I will get that written up and sent over to you. You feel free to holler if you have any questions. It does notify me when you sign it and all that good stuff. And it also will send you a copy of the executed, and we will sign it first before it shows up in your inboxes. Okay.
All right.
And then my last question would be on this. We'll get it open with title probably on Monday. And what would be our easiest way to access so we can start setting up people to come and, assess it? Obviously I don't need inside the house for the roof, but I also don't want my roofer to get shot. So what kind of access do we have set up there?
give me a call. You know, I work literally 5 minutes from there.
Okay.
So, but yeah. And then I work for myself, so I can pretty much get away at any time.
Nice. What do you do?
I work on semis. I'm a mechanic.
Fun.
But it can be, and it cannot be sometimes.
Yeah, well, such is life, right? I love what I do, but sometimes it's not always fun either.
I hear you there.
All right, Matthew. Well, I'll get this written up, shot over to you. You have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And if you don't have any questions, I'm sure you'll hear from me coming up this week when we're getting everything set up.
Okay. Now, do I need to send you some pictures of it, or?
That would be great if you want to. I'll text you actually my email if it's easier. You can even text them to me on that phone number.
Okay. All right.
That's
and then
great.
If we go through with everything, I've got the house needs cleaned up, but we got pretty much everything out of it. But the garage is pretty much full. I got some tractors and some trucks and stuff in there I need to get out. How much time would I have to get the stuff out of there?
Oh, we're honestly pretty flexible about that. We normally put like a 30-day close.
Okay.
Just
more or less, as long as I had a week, that's all I do.
Right. For me, I feel like as we go through the process, once you are, once we're starting to kind of schedule closing, we have clear title, all that. And not that I'm saying anything will come up, but I've dealt with some crazy things and thousands of deals, that delay closing for one reason or another. But they're out of our control, and you just got to walk the process sometimes before you know for sure. But once we get clear title back and all that jazzy stuff, we can kind of plan it. If you're not in a hurry to close by like a certain day, we'll just say, okay, everything's lined up. We've gone through, we've got all of our assessments in without giving you all the nooks and crannies of our process. Everything's approved. Like our budget that we write up is approved. We can schedule our workers, blah, 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 everything like that. And title is ready. We could say, okay, you want to close in 10 days? Cool. You know what I mean? That way you don't have to fuss with it, in the 2 weeks it takes to do all that crazy stuff. But then once you know it's go time, you also don't feel rushed to deal with that stuff either.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. I think that'll do. I mean, if I had the time, to put the roof on it and fix the siding and some trim around the windows, and I'd probably put it on the market for 165 or so. Maybe a little more, but I don't know. I whenever I had the problem with the bank, I borrowed some money from my brother-in-law to get us out of it. So more or less, that's why I'm kind of looking at 50, so I can just get him paid off and just be done with it. I just don't have time for this place. You know what I mean?
I do. I have an entire career built off of being able to have the time to do those things.
Yeah, that's why you guys are in business. So.
Yeah, literally, it's a lot of work, and it's I mean to tell you, as somebody who does this for a living, every time I decide to do something on my own home, it still takes me forever to do it. There's a reason. Your things like that can come and it's like, is it really worth the time and energy? And it's like, I used to be way more, I'm sure you understand as a business owner, like how managing your time is so important. And it can be just one of those things where, the best of intentions to do that or do a project or whatever, and it might not seem overwhelming in theory, but by the time you apply it in real life, it's like, here I am 2 years later and I still don't have my floors done.
As a business owner, you try to make every minute count.
Yeah.
Every hour, and you end up working too many hours because you didn't make every minute count.
Yep.
Same here. You know, I've been trying to put that. I bought this roof, you know, all the materials 6 months before I moved out, not knowing that I was going to move out.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, and when you have a family too, it's like trying to find that work-life balance. You know, I get it. Trust me. I've been doing this for a long time, and I absolutely love what I do, but I have to get creative sometimes myself because, you know, you sign up for a business. Fortunately, we kind of seem to found a good rhythm and stride after many years, but there were years where I'm telling you, like, I didn't have a day off in what seemed like a whole year.
Right.
So yeah, you fit in the rest of your life when you can, and it's like, I get it. And it's sometimes it's just like, yeah, man, you know, I love what I do and everything like that, but sometimes by the time I get home, the only thing I want to do is just spend time with the family and my dogs and live my best life, not, you know, go work on something else, you know?
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Life's too short to be working all the time, but I'm also a real hard worker that works real hard to have the life I want. And I am one of those lucky people to really love what I do. So.
Right. And that helps out a lot too.
It sure does. It sure makes it a lot easier. I'd rather be doing what I do than being in a job that I don't like just to make ends meet. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely.
So, all right, Matthew. Well, I appreciate you.
Get the pictures sent over to you here in a little bit, and I guess we'll go from there.
That sounds great. I'll keep an eye out for them. And you've got my cell phone there I text you, and you should see this email pop up, and just give me a shout if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll get this party started on Monday.
All right, sounds great.
All right, have a good one.
You too, thank you.
Thank you, bye-bye. Well now, just so y'all know the details, it's really interesting where, you know, we've done several deals here in Livingston, and realistically, you could look at this and this is going to be right on par with like as is, but with the lot size. And he has like a barn, but it's like a metal building, but like a pole barn that has it's like a shop. He's got a big old shop on it. It's a cute little house, needs some love. On the outside, certainly some landscaping will take it a real long way. But the thing about this is that the value there is really the fact that we don't have to overdo it on the cosmetics too. I put in, you know, worst case scenario, $150,000 for an ARV with, what did I put in? I would say a $38,000 rehab budget and a contract price and a wholesale fee. I mean, you've got a pretty good match there for a buyer to come in here on this at $60,000. Now, Livingston in and of itself doesn't, like, you could put more money into this property and get a higher ARV, but I think that's going to be the sweet spot to not overdo it for, you know, our buyers there. To be honest with you, I think this property, honestly, super fixed up, could go up much higher, well over 175. So I really like that sweet spot. I mean, you even heard the seller say, hey, all I'd have to do is fix the roof and clean it up a little bit, and I could list this thing on the market as it is for 155. But to me, you know, I need to do a little bit more fence work and things like that, and, you know, make sure I have a budget in there to go, you know, higher if I need to, but not necessarily if I don't want to. The other thing about this property that's really great, and we do have a good amount of luck here, is that you could get it rent ready, and I think you could easily rent this property out for a minimum of $1,100 a month. So this does have potential for those people who might be buying holding as well. So it's on almost half an acre is what it says on tax records. But he also said, and this is probably a mistake that a lot of people are making, he also said it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It's 1,100 square feet, and tax records are showing it's 850. And that it's almost on 3/4 of an acre. And so when I'm looking at it, I'm like, this looks like more. So me going to that street view and all the things I talk about to y'all live, I know this is a seller call. All those things I talk to you about live, about how I process things on the comps while I'm doing that, while I'm calling and talking to the seller right there, right? I know sometimes the data from the county records can sometimes be a little bit off in some of the places that we've, I kind of just know what I'm looking for instinctively there. And so I usually just do drop that line while I'm pulling up comps and stuff, only because it's my awkward silence, and it gets them talking, it gets them comfortable. I'm looking through that street view, all those things like that. I would have initially come way lower on my ARV if I just didn't get that guy talking. So, really is that easy. It really is. That was a great speed to lead. I just hopped on speed to lead here. And I dialed 3 people, and the first one that answered, I bought 3 leads. I dialed 3 people, and the first one that answered is a contract. So we don't make this stuff, and it's Saturday, and it's kind of late on a Saturday, especially in Illinois. Wait, no, Illinois is the same time zone as us, I think. But at the end of the day, it's really late afternoon on Saturday, going into evening, and it really is just, hey man, like if you know the numbers, if you know your real estate, if you use the closers formula, which y'all can see I do it a little bit differently than RJ does. I put my own words on it sometimes, but I do the same exact thing. I'm coming back to it. And I did get lucky in that the guy was asking like a perfect price for this property. And even if it comes back to be a little bit more work, it is what it is. But I think it's a great property. And we will know for sure. But he gave so many details. He's got the roofing material there. So I feel like a $38,000 budget is a great amount. A great amount to fix up that it's 1,100 square foot house that needs. And the other thing about it is, y'all, is the comps in that price range, they're outdated. They're 1980s looking. So, yeah. I know I'm partners with the King Closer. I know I don't always come on here and showcase my closing abilities. But we practice what we preach around here, and it really does work, even if you aren't the King Closer himself. And it really does come all the way back to just that magic of the Closers formula. The King Closers formula is how we pulled that out of his brain. He's excellent, and I've learned a lot from him, and he's learned a lot from me. And it really is about teaching that comp and underwriting skill set to just solve people's problems is what it does come down to at the end of the day. But if you don't have the skill sets to do it, it may not be that easy. And having great lead sources, you know what I'm saying? We're just happy and proud to share it. And, a lot of people want to see me close more often because they're like, I want to see the female version of RJ out there closing. And, well, we thought we'd give you a treat. And we thought we would do that for you so that you could have a little weekend treat of Cassi closings.